Hey everybody, this is Flo at FloBradley.com. I hope you're doing great. It's Transformation Tuesday. And in these 3 simple tips, I'm going to share with you why it's important to stay in action. Now, I was just on vacation and I like to take a little down period during the summer because my kids are out of school. I like to enjoy them. We went on vacation. Before that, they had swim club. Swim club's over. Vacations are over. It's time to get back into action. So it's okay to have break periods, especially when you schedule them. And they're by design. On the other hand, when you want to do something, accomplish something, just completely kind of not staying in action is actually detrimental, and not just because you're not going to hit your goal, but because it has a psychological effect. So firstly, here's tip number 1 of why it's important to stay in action, is it takes more effort to stay unsuccessful in whatever you're trying to accomplish than it does to be successful. Why is that? And even though there's a lot of fear around whatever you're trying to accomplish, if it's weight loss, maybe you have a big number out there, you have to lose 40, 50, 60, 100 pounds. That's scary for people. That would be scary for me. I've had to lose 50 pounds before. It was scary. That was after my second child was born. I gained a lot of weight, actually 50 pounds, and actually over 50 pounds. And it was difficult to get it off. And I was nervous and scared about it, but I just kept putting one foot forward after the other and doing the actions so that it took to be successful. And I started to see that progress, and boom, after 60 days, I was back down to almost my pre-pregnancy weight. But it was a scary thing. So, if you don't accomplish your goal, say if it's a weight loss goal, what could happen? Well, it could lead to different health challenges. It could lead to financial challenges like higher premiums. I just saw a person in my neighborhood named John who lost a lot of weight. That was his motivator because he couldn't afford the premiums that were going up, and that was his motivation. It doesn't matter what the motivation is. Staying in a certain area, not that this is beyond just weight loss, this is whatever you're trying to accomplish in your life. If you stay where you're at and you know you need to make changes or want to, it's harder to stay stuck than it is to move forward. And that can be from a pocketbook standpoint, overall vitality, energy, longevity standpoint as well. Number 2 is the worry loop. So when you're not in action, you worry about being in action and worry about what you should be doing. And that steals your energy, and it causes you to, just kind of give up. A lot of people say stay depressed when they're just kind of lazing around. What's interesting is sometimes people say if they're trying to do a network marketing company and their goal is to retire to the beach. It's tough to just sit on the beach. I know that sounds weird, but I live in a neighborhood where there's this pool and it looks like Club Med. And I actually, when I first moved here, I was like, wow, we live in a resort. And it's so funny how exhausting just sitting around can be. And I know that sounds like, I can't believe she just said that, but it's true. If you just sit around drinking margaritas all day by the pool, it doesn't feel good after a while in your body. And 2, it just starts to exhaust you because your body is meant for action. It doesn't matter if you're not into the Bible or anything like that, but there's some good stuff in that book. Uh, it talks about, being idle, and it's just not a good thing. You want to be in action. To be able to have a harvest, you need to plant some seeds. You're not going to eat if you just kind of laze around. So that's a second reason it can cause kind of depression. Number 3 is it has to do with just the people around you. When you're in action, if you want to have, say, your children be successful in school and put towards effort in sports or whatever it is, you want to be a good example to them, because kids, yes, they will to a certain degree be inspired by their peers. You're pushing them, but at some point they actually learn from you, even though they may be active in whatever they're doing and successful in whatever they're doing. There's a lot of pressure when we aren't doing something and the kids are expected to do something. You probably see it all the time. My kids are always like, and this is from a different example, but, Mommy, why don't you have to go to bed when I have to go to bed? And I say, well, you need to get more sleep right now, when I actually should be in bed too. And eventually, when they get older, and you've heard yourself probably say this, when I'm adult, I'm going to stay up late. And what happens? You end up staying up later, and it doesn't serve you. You need a lot of sleep. It's actually not just for the fact that your body needs rest. Your brain needs rest. Your whole body needs that rest to grow and to for cell reproduction and all that good stuff. If you don't sleep enough, you don't have enough leptin in your brain, and you reach for sugary foods. There's a compound effect of not getting enough sleep. I'm just giving that as an example. But your kids actually will start to develop your traits, even if they have success-looking habits because they're around their peer groups, they're mimicking their peers, but to their own devices and not having that parent in their ear, they're looking at what you're doing, and they eventually do what you do. That's why we become our parents, even though we try and resist against it. A lot of times we do if we're not in action and we're not proactive with our own plan, because it's a program, right? So those are my 3 simple tips of why it's important to get back into action, even if you don't want to. You feel so much better too. The remedy for any type of fear is action. The remedy for any type of challenge is really getting into action. It really is. So I hope you enjoyed these 3 simple tips. Until next time, remember to embrace the beauty of your life journey and share with me why you think it's important to get back into action, especially if you haven't been in action, like myself. And I'm going to go and start running and get into action right now.